all know that I'm not a Brett Brown despiser. I don't despise him. I don't scream for his head. But I want to take a look at this approach. I really do, because I still think the roster is flawed. I get we have a great starting five, but this team is not complete. This team is not a championship-worthy team when you look at our bench. Mike Scott, Jonathan Simmons, James Ennis, these guys stink. They're bad. This team should be good enough to be playing better than they are. And we need to look at some things here with Brett Brown, but don't act like this team can beat the Golden State Warriors. We overreacted when we got the trade and all that. We didn't understand how bad this depth is still. It is so ugly. It's bad. It's not ready to compete. But Brett Brown, there should never be a time where Jonathan Simmons is getting inbounded the ball late in the game when we need to make free throws from Tobias Harris. There's no reason Jonah Bolden should be popping 3 balls when their big lead gets cut to 6 at the top of the key early in the shot clock. That should never happen. And one person mentioned this to me, and I'm not trying to say Brett Brown has a loser's mentality, because I hate that argument. A lot of people say that because of the tanking he went through. But you need to develop, just like a player does, as a coach. You need to develop as a coach and learn in-game situations and all that. During his tenure here, his job early on was just lose games. Maybe develop a Robert Covington. Maybe develop a TJ McConnell. And I thought to myself, the statement I heard was just simple. Coaches need time to grow just like players. And then it really triggered me. His job really was to lose games. He never had that feel those first few seasons to understand making adjustments, and it shows. It shows. The scheme is flawed too. We want to play fast, run the floor, pop threes. With Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, that's the style we want to play? Yeah, sure, JJ fits that, sure. But what about our defensive liabilities? It's just one scheme, and we play it the same way. No matter who it is, Brett Brown believes in the system. So we're doing the same things we did with Robert Covington and Dario Saric and that squad and TJ McConnell, and we're doing the same thing with Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick and Tobias Harris. And at times when you gain better talent, you gain more things, you have to make changes. And we're doing the same thing with different players of different skill sets and higher value, and it blows my mind. I think Brett's a great dude. I want it to work here for him. He went through hell with us, and on top of that, he relates with the players very well. But I'm starting to look and say, is he the guy? Is he the guy? We're consistently blowing leads. We're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and there really is no fix. It's, all right, guys, go out there and do it again, and let's see if it happens again. And sure enough, it ends up happening again. I understand for the millionth time Joel Embiid is not in the game, and I hope and pray to the basketball gods that makes a huge difference, which it realistically should, but does that change the actual problem, though? Will that change the full thing? He's clearly top in the league, and adding that to your team can absolutely change some things. And help your team out, and help you close games, and slow the pace down when we're up late. Kill the clock instead of pulling up like Jonah Bolden. But is that an issue with the coach to players? The discipline of the game? Understanding the situations? Who in their right mind would ever pop that? And then you can play the argument, well, bros, the coach doesn't make the players do the thing out there. But if that's the style that we play at, was that Jonah Bolden just making a mistake, or do we do that at times? 20 turnovers? I'm sure we do that. Oh, I know we do that. That's a no-brainer we do. Consistently. I don't know. I don't know. Because it's going to come down to it. Because I look at this team and say, hopefully we can get out of the first round. Yeah, I would think so on talent alone. But you're talking about Milwaukee, Toronto, even Boston, if so. Right now, at this very moment in time, I'm not feeling good about it. I'm not feeling good about it. And talk about a second-round exit. Now, I also believe the fan base got overhyped and really expected this team to be elite, and we might have been off. We might have been off based off the depth. Our starting five is great, but this can't go underplayed. Look at Milwaukee's bench. Look at Toronto's bench. Dude, James Ennis and Jonathan Simmons suck. They're not good. Mike Scott, who I thought would be a good six-man, and I was involved. I was in the overhyped crew. We can do this. We can make Eastern Conference Finals. Mike Scott would be like a good eighth man, ninth man. The end of the day, and I know how this is going to go. When I ask you to comment down below, I get it. I know. I see it every game. Brett Brown needs to be fired. Brett Brown this. Well, realistically, it's not going to happen now. It comes into play when we look into this offseason and say, okay, say we do lose in the second round. What do we do with Brett? Personally, though, the team isn't good enough. They're not deep enough. They have a great five. But you're going to need depth. People want to talk about cutting the bench back in the playoffs. So we're going to cut our bench back to TJ McConnell and Mike Scott. And Boban, if he's okay, apparently it's not as bad as it looked, which is huge news. But is that going to get it done? Is that going to get it done? So here's the question. What do we do with Brett Brown? Have fun in the comments, because I know where everyone's leaning. I heard there are some fans out there that maybe think they give him one full year of this team next season, and then you make the adjustment from there if it doesn't work. That's scary. That's scary for me, because I'm starting to see things that bother me, and I really do like Brett as a person and you know, his attitude about the game, and he's passionate about his players, and that's great. But there is a problem when it comes to the adjustments, the scheme, making these players work. He's not doing a good enough job right now, and that's just reality. Joel Embiid coming back into the mix. Could that change everybody's opinion? Possibly. But right now, I'm not feeling good. That's reality. I'm sitting here, and I'm not feeling great about it. I haven't seen the team play a consistent effort here after the break yet. The Boban injury was really scary, though. Talk about a problem with the backup five role. It's good news to hear it's not as bad as we expected. When I saw the report, let's take a look to see if I can find the official quote on the injury. An MRI on Boban's right knee came back negative and showed that there was no fracture and that there was no serious injury. Reported by Sports Radio WIP. So, that is a report by WIP. So you can take that for what it is. But the MRIs did come back negative from everything I'm seeing here. So, frustrating. Big one on Thursday. Is Embiid going to be back by then? You would think so, with the hatred behind Russell Westbrook and all that. We're going away. We got to play in their building. Paul George has been playing dynamite as of late, so that's something to keep your eye out for. I really love this team. It's an emotional ride, just like every Philadelphia squad, it seems, at this point. With the Flyers, especially the Bryce Harper news right now. Eagles have been quiet, but now the Sixers, it's, oh my God, we're going to go to the finals. We can beat the Warriors too. What if we play the Nets the first round? Can we even escape? Or can we get past the Milwaukee, Boston, or Toronto in the second round? It went to that extreme. And I'm right there with it. I'm going for the ride. I'm on the roller coaster. My hands are up, and I'm ready to scream and see where this thing takes me. Are we going on the loop-de-loop, or are we coming for a stop, or what? Or is this some final destination stuff? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Oh, man. But one thing that is coming soon is a Ben Simmons 3. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You talk about the form, the elbow, I get it all. But it's just not a beautiful-looking shot, technically wise. But it's going to fall. You see his confidence. I love that. He just comes right up to the line and pulls one. I love it. There are times late in games when I see him decide to take a shot, and I say, okay, I don't know, maybe that's the time to try it. But listen, the mentality's the problem with him. He doesn't have that mentality. So, as long as he's kind of adding to that factor and really showing that he's going to go for it, That's the real positive out of it. But he's been balling. He's been taking over with no Joel, and it is cool as hell to watch. Dominating, going to the rim, the spinoramas, the passes, the boards. Oh, it's great. It's phenomenal. I love it. He's amazing. I love watching Ben Simmons play basketball. It's just so unique as a 6'10" point guard. I love hearing people say, put him at the 4, put him at the 3. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead, rip Brett. I know it's coming in the comments. I will see you guys next time. Go Sixers.